Roguelites are one of my favorite genres to cover. Instead of asking players to overcome a predetermined challenge, they offer a variety of potential outcomes that can have a monumental impact on success. This blend of luck and skill can be rather addicting, either by offering a seemingly impossible challenge, or simply offering every advantage in hopes you don't screw it up along the way. The latest to take a crack at this system is Folly of the Wizards. With a simple concept, presented with captivatingly simple art, it hopes to join the greats like Enter the Gungeon. However, given so many titles failed to capture the same magic, are they wizards, or was their approach simply filled with folly?
Past, and the demons came back from the past. The wizard help is again required, but their age made them tired. The last hope resides on their pupils with their recklessness and wacky skills. But this time to fight, something is not right in Folly of the Wizards.
Folly of the Wizards' approach to narrative is rather unique. It starts with a brief opening that explains the premise. Basically, demons attacked, wizards fought back, and then sometime later the threat is returning for a new generation to deal with. Most of the remaining story is told through vendor interactions and random boss encounters. Despite there being minimal dialogue, it subtly suggests various things through reactions and so forth. It works well enough to keep players engaged, assuming they have the skills to win. Simply put, Folly of the Wizards is a great example of how a couple minor issues can have a substantial negative impact on the overall experience. It reminds me a lot of Josh's Journey, which received the lowest review score in my illustrious career. And it wasn't due to the game running poorly or filled with glitches, it was just a miserable and thoroughly unenjoyable experience. A common feeling I had here as well. This all starts with the baffling controls. Most 2D platformers utilize cross to jump and circle to dodge. Folly of the Wizards binds these to L1 and L2. It's weird, and something that cannot be changed. Well, you can change your key bindings, which for PlayStation is in the accessibility menu, but there should be an in-game option. As I continued to play, I found myself constantly confused by a wide variety of choices. For example, why is the build button set to R3? There is no function for triangle, and circle, and the whole D-pad for that matter. So why put it there of all places? I also can't bring up the map. It might not be the most useful thing given the length of a run, though I can't fathom why the option wasn't included. The same is also true for a weapon switch function. I can pick up multiple weapons, yet there doesn't seem to be a way to drop or swap. Like, how are you having problems that games from nearly a decade ago solved? Worse still, it feels like Up5's Labs was dead set on making every bad decision possible. This all starts with the optional tutorial being toggled off. I don't actually mind this choice, but when you're going to have weird control schemes, it just makes for a terrible first impression. I see a platform, push cross, it does nothing. I'm attacked, push circle, and take damage because it also does nothing. I fight back, take a few more hits because I don't know how to jump or dodge, and 40 seconds later I lost half my health. What a way to start a game. At this point, I tried a tutorial in hopes it explains things, and it really doesn't do that well. For example, it tells me dash works like a dodge, except for some reason it doesn't tell me I can freely control my dash, like I can dash up as an alternative jump. Not the most intuitive, as I played plenty of games where it only works forward or backwards. Ultimately, even if this was obvious, it wouldn't hurt to include this in some capacity. Then there is the item system. It's filled with vague, esoteric descriptions that will undoubtedly result in poor choices that will ruin your run. Take the needle item. The effect reads, I hate needles. I would rather fight 100 monsters than be pricked by one of these. What the hell does that mean? Is the only thing it does is change how my character looks, or is there more to it? And I legitimately don't know, as some of the other esoteric items vaguely explain the effect. Nacho says, so spicy, I couldn't focus anymore after eating one of these. This makes your aim poor. I can kinda squint and get it, but I'd rather just know what the effect is. There also doesn't seem to be any redundancy prevention. I mean, some items gain additional power with multiple copies, though I'm not sure what the benefit of 2 identical C pendant pieces will do. I suppose if I'm absurdly lucky I can make the pendant twice, though it goes without saying the most likely outcome is finishing neither. Even the enemies are far more annoying than fun. Not only do they deal damage if they touch you, they just have anti-player designs. My favorite example of this is the dinosaur. I can jump over it when it's breathing fire, only for it to immediately swap directions. Like, who is this for? Who thinks this is an enjoyable experience? Then there are enemies that can attack through walls, hit you as soon as they spawn, to just having bad room arrangements. This doesn't even get into how weak the starting character feels, how bad certain weapons feel, or the oppressive boss design. I'm fine with losing, just not because the screen is filled with enemies. And probably the worst choice is the lack of invincibility after taking damage. At one point I accidentally hit R3 and brought up my menu. That's a skill issue, one that I will own up to. Yet, I don't think anyone will agree with me taking 6 hits in 3 seconds. That's enough to lose my entire run with full health. Even without the menu error, the idea that you can take 2 hits a second is absurd. Is this game supposed to be that hardcore? Did someone really want me to feel punished because the boss spawned 6 ads in a tiny arena and I made a single mistake? And what is the lesson supposed to be? Stay on the little platform and cheese harder? Like, that's supposed to be engaging? I mean, that's the thing about Folly of the Wizards. It isn't that bad of a game. Even if I dislike the controls, they generally worked. It performed well and followed a predictable reward pattern. There are also multiple characters, 7 different endings, fun events like a unicorn boss. It's just that the quality of life is so low, none of this matters. It is so bad that it manages to be less than the sum of its parts because it doesn't fill me with a desire to chase every secret. And it's a shame because the art is genuinely nice and it does get better long term. If nothing else, the good thing about quality of life problems is they are fixable. I don't know what or even if they will ultimately do it, but in its current state, I cannot suggest it, or at most encourage playing the demo before investing. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and for more content, please subscribe.